Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva,
Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Keep quiet. Love this silence. Be addicted to this silence to an extent that even when there is noise around us, even when the mind comes with a vengeance, with all sorts of thoughts, when it also shows all sorts of emotions, when it also reflects on the body and the body feels restless, you stay in silence. Be so adept to this silence that nothing takes over this silence. Silence stays on top of everything. How can this happen? When there is an overcast sky, all covered by clouds, you can't see any sky, and it's all dark. And you have no hope of the sky to be seen again. But let's say you are above all these clouds, close to the sky. Then what's going to happen? Even if there is a cloud or no cloud, for you it's always a clear sky. Same thing you can do with this silence. You come to this silence so close, so intimate that you are almost silent, while the mind, which makes all the noise, is quite far from you. So now you have transcended. You have moved from the ground, from earth to the sky. From ground it looks overcast when there are clouds of thoughts. Some are very intense, very dark, very gloomy. Some look so big that it appears they are never going to move. And some look as if they are just still, not moving. Sometimes there is a gap between these clouds of thoughts and you see some clear sky and your mind feels happy as an afterthought when you experience your own bliss. The traces of that bliss are smelt by the mind, and then the mind asks you or tells you that the peace has gone away. Such a trick of the mind. He is the thief who has taken away your peace and then tells you that there is no peace left. So the only way is if you move to the opposite of these clouds of thoughts, you elevate yourself and look same clouds from the sky. Now the mind can't tell you that there is no peace, there is no silence. You have come on the top of the mind. You are close to the sky. If you go more close to the sky, you become sky. And then you are untouchable. So these clouds can still come and go, who cares? You are always in this clear sky. And this is available to all of us. The only thing is the perception. If you look through the filters of the mind, you can spend millions of births and you will never get there. You will have some beautiful experiences, some peaceful time, and then mind will come back. Maybe with practice, there will be lighter clouds, more gap between the clouds, more peace. But still there is a filter of the mind. This is the basic difference between the mind control and mind destruction. Mind control is dependent on a practice. So many practices, mindfulness meditation, pranayam, yoga, japa, or whatever. But yes, if you keep doing even these practices, slowly and gradually and slowly, and these clouds will be less and less and less. And yes, one day you will reach the same place where you can reach by transcendence, by just mere pure knowledge. And this knowledge is very simple, but your mind can never think Or you can say your mind never wants to understand it. If your mind understands it, it is the end game of the mind. Then who will understand this concept, this simple basic truth? Actually, there is no one to understand it. It is just by that intuitive awareness that you can transcend. You only think that there is no choice. You have to see consciousness, awareness, this silence through the filter of the mind. But the moment you decide not to use this filter, then you are silence. There is nothing between the sky and you. The clouds are still there. The mind is still there. But how can it disturb if it's below you and you are above it? Just understand this simple truth. And it's in your hand. And all our life we have given all our attempts to the mind. And it has mostly helped us. But here it can't help. Because here it has to go. You can't win this battle with mind. In this battle, mind has to surrender. So all the battles which you have won or lost in this materialistic world were possible according to your thought through the mind. But here it can't help you. But here also you need to understand it is only our ego which thinks that all the battles which we won were with the help of the mind, which is completely false. It was all the divine will. Mind, ego, body, everything is puppet in hands of the divine will. But because there is an ego which thinks that the mind is thinking and acting and achieving, so we give credit to the mind, and that's what the ego is. But in this game of knowing yourself, you have to transcend. There are thousands of techniques in this world in which we control mind and we feel peace. And if that is your aim, then mind is good. You can follow those techniques. But then the game never ends there, it continues. There is more calmness in your life, more harmony in your life. You are more peaceful. But then you still stay as you as a person. If you want to drop this person, you have to transcend. There is no way. So you are playing a very different game than what all the happiness retreats, happiness experts, psychologists, and all these people are talking about. Who will help you in this game? No one but you. Not even your mind can help you. You ask anyone who starts the journey to meditate. They have never experienced their mind to be so violent. It retorts, it comes with more negative thoughts, comes with a vengeance, and you experience more vagaries of the mind. The easiest path is to remember and remember and remember and remember all the time that you are this pure silence, clear sky, formless, without any thought, without any judgment, without asking for any change, accepting everything as it is, not expecting anything. And when can you be like that? When you know that you are nothing, just mere silence. When you are part of a game, you have interest in winning and losing, supporting a team or not supporting, or even watching with interest. But when you have left the place and you have no interest, then if someone asks you about it, what would you say? You will say, I have no interest. I don't know anything. That is what is important. When you have vairagya, dispassion, no interest, nothing can entice you, then you are free at that moment. Then there is no pull of the mind. Whatever mind says, let it say. You know that you are pure silence, unwavering, not on any other support, standing on its own feet, eternally, non-decaying, untainted. No one can add anything to it, no one can take out anything out of it. It is fearless, but humble. It does not ask anything from anyone. It also does not give anything to anyone. But somehow this awareness has its own fragrance, peace and love. It keeps you happy without any reason. If there is a tragedy around, you might get emotional. You might feel sorry. But this silence is always there. And in no time you are again into this silence. All the sadhaks, all the spiritual seekers are always worried about their mind and the mind affecting the body. But they never think again that they are the awareness, they are on top of it. They are the king. Once you are 100% convinced that you are this silence, then all the noise of mind cannot defeat you. This is the power of silence. Just one conviction, 100% conviction, can make you free in this moment. You have to 100% be convinced that you are silence. No thought belongs to you. No feelings or emotions belongs to you. You have no body. You have no thing. You don't possess anything. You have no rights. You have no demands. Once you are 100% convinced, then whether mind stays or not, who cares? You are the king of your whole mind-body package. Don't give it to your mind, who is your servant. Hold your ground firmly. Keep quiet. Stay in silence. This is the highest place. You are at the top of the sky. From here you can watch the mind, its all tendencies, and its accompaniments like emotions and feelings, even sensations in the body, and it's leading to restlessness in the body, but you don't move. Stay firm in your silence, whatever comes. How long the mind can disturb you? It's like a naughty child who is throwing tantrums. If you don't listen to this child, soon he will stop doing all these things. You just have to disengage from your mind. And stay like this space, clear sky. Start in your solitude, in your free time. And then in your conversations, and even in the arguments, and also in the noisiest places. Don't leave this silence. Remember, you are this silence. And when you go to bed, you watch a dream. You still stay as silence. Then you go into deep sleep and you stay as silence. And then you realize that you are always a silence, silent witness. And the person who is waking, dreaming, deep sleep is only the mind. Mind is very innocent. It's not really devil. We make it devil when we have interest in it. When you have no interest, it is like your pet. It stays behind you, not in front of you. If you want to be free from all the things what mind can bring you, and all those things are things of the materialistic world. When you have no desire, you are nothing, you are no body, then you are free. Then you have no interest in mind. Then in most of the arguments, your language will be silence. If you have gone through Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi's life history, so many people came to him to argue. Initially, he answered to one or two questions of these people. And when he realized they were there for mere argument, he kept quiet. To an extent that the other people sometimes got really annoyed, almost going to hit him. and these people weren't shown the door. This is the power of silence. It sometimes can make others people very angry when you are silent. But that's what your language is. Speech is the language of mind. You still have to use your mind to speak out something. But I can tell you, your silence is 100 times more powerful than your speech. If you want your true self to completely blossom through this body-mind complex, stay in silence as much as you can. There is no end to this silence. It gets deeper and deeper and deeper. It's infinite. As there are layers on the wave in the ocean, there are various categories of people trapped in the mind, from calm people to stressed people to anxious people to panicky to severely depressed, whatever they are. Same goes when you go deeper into this ocean of silence. Keep going deeper and deeper. There are yogis and saints and sages and enlightened souls. Some have gone really, really deep. Some have stayed not that deep. Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi is a modern sage who went really, really, really deep. He went so deep that he couldn't speak for a few years. He went so deep that he had no perception of his body. He went so deep that sometimes he could not tell whether it's day or night. And from that depth, he brought all that jewel of silence. He could sit in this silence for days and days. Even when he started speaking, it was very limited. Don't just have a dip. Just keep going deeper and deeper. There are a lot of jewels in this deepness. No one can tell you. You only will know. Once you are free from your mind, don't look back. Dive deep. As nothing, you can go very deep. With this body, you can't go anywhere. Your consciousness is very condensed in this body-mind complex. You become very, very narrow in mind. Narrow-minded. We call broad-minded people who are open. I will call you infinite mind when you transcend. This ocean is infinitely deep. No one knows the end. How would you know that you are going deeper? The joy becomes very intense, unending joy. You're always in this silence, and it gets deeper and deeper. This is the first time you will realize that silence also has categories. As we have decibels for sound, I don't know the measure for silence, but definitely everything becomes silent. It's like a movie in which sometimes they show in a catastrophe, everything becomes silent. All our life, we are chasing happiness, bliss, peace, joy. And now you know, when you stop chasing, you get all of these things. In nothingness is everything. Don't believe on anything coming to your mind. Only have faith in the silence. Silence is your Guru, silence is your God, and silence is you. There is no difference. In India, they say God's stick has no sound. भगवान की लाठी में कोई आवाज़ नहीं होती, which means even when He punishes you, He punishes through the silence only. To reach God, to understand God, it can only happen when you appreciate silence. Ignore all types of thoughts, good or bad. Give away all concepts of all religions. Give away everything in your CV or resume. Everything which we have learned. Stand naked. Stand like you are nothing in this silence. And then you can ride on this silence. It will take you into the empty world. This is your own world of nothingness. It's much vaster than your universe. It's unending, all-pervading. Here there is no disturbance, no noise. Always fresh, always like a child, innocent. Here there is no planning, no judgment. No mask, no personality. %100% acceptance of whatever is happening. Everything is considered as blessing and grace. Life unfolds in the best possible way, in harmony with the whole cosmos, and you stay as a pure witness. You have not an iota of desire to change it, because you now know it's coming from you only. There is no filter of ego which wants a change. You are in this awareness which is choiceless. This choiceless awareness is absolute. You are never looking for the next moment. You are this moment. Each moment is now only. No next and no past. Those two were only creations of the mind. So you are completely free from the tiredness of the mind or the mind fatigue. You are always fresh in this moment. No baggage of stories of personality. You might come across people, family, friends, commenting on your past or your nature, but you don't know. But you don't argue. You don't defend. The person who was defending this body-mind is dead, has already dissolved. Who will defend? Who will fight? Who will argue? Now people ask you, how's your life? That you is no more there. It's only life. And life unfolds each second. And you watch this life with reverence, with gratitude, with love. Whatever the life brings, you accept. Because now you know life is coming from you only. Life is coming everywhere. In plants, animals, birds, rocks. Everything is that same life. Which is blossoming in your body. No difference. Only difference is of the form. And you are formless. Now it doesn't matter whether you are in human form or a bird form or a tree form or a rock form or no form. Now you know you are formless, pure awareness. Unborn, so no death to you. You're watching your own body mind as you watch other body mind. Unbiased. You are not living for this body mind, or you are not living for other body minds. You are living, you are always living. Living as awareness. This is the simple truth. Right now you are living with this body mind. You were living without body mind in the past. And then again, once this dissolves, this body is dead, you will still be living. You are unbound, free, contented and happy. Action or inaction, you are always free. You have no name, no story. All stories are of this body mind. Every body mind has a story. But you are without any story. Remember this, and the game is over. But then please don't forget it. Keep reminding you again and again and again and again that you are pure awareness, pure silence, pure witness. Don't get involved in the mind, and you are eternally free. Free and empty as a clear sky. Let the clouds of mind come and go, who cares? You are above these clouds. And so all these moving clouds cannot affect you. Remember that and be free. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Peace, Peace.